One of my kids' teachers at school will be retiring at the end of the school year, and I was asked to build her a cutting board. I've never built one before, so I was really excited for this project. Now, I wanted to build something just slightly different for her since this was a retirement gift, so I decided to shape it like an apple. Let's get started. I used rough cut walnut, maple, and mahogany, so I started by joining one side. I like to draw a pencil mark just to make sure I've gotten all areas flat. I ripped the walnut into 3/4 inch strips. I cut 3 strips 1/4 inch wide. Then I moved on to the maple and cut 2 strips 1/4 inch wide as well. I wanted the mahogany to stand out, so I cut it a 1/2 inch wide. Now to the glue up. All the videos online showed this process so clean and pretty. Well, I just made it look like a goopy mess. The most important part of this process was getting glue on all areas I was gluing together. I was amazed at just how much glue it actually took. I aligned the boards as best I could and clamped them, letting them dry overnight. I ran it through the planer to flatten the top and the bottom. For my apple stencil, I googled apple clip art and I found the one that I liked. Then I sized it correctly and printed it out. To give the apple curved edges around the stem and leaf, I used the drill press to make holes. You could always use a hand drill to get the same results. I used the bandsaw to cut out the apple shape. A jigsaw would have worked too. Using a smaller blade would have been a better choice, but I was just too lazy to change the blade. I sanded down the edges with 80 grit to get rid of the bandsaw rough edges. Using the round sander, I smoothed out the bottom of the apple. And to get into those small tight areas, I used a flat and a round metal file. I repeated this process with 120 and 150 grit and got the top and the bottom sanded as well with those two. I poured water on the cutting boards and let them dry. This will help bring up the grain so they will not be rough the first time someone washes them. Starting with 220 grit up to 600 grit, I sanded each board, making sure to sand out the marks from the last grit. Normally I would have used my router and a roundover bit on the edges. However, I was not able to get into the tight areas, so I sanded over the edges instead, which ended up looking really good. Not quite as good as it would with the router, but I was still really happy with it. I applied 3 coats of cutting board oil, letting it dry between coats. Then I finished with a cutting board conditioner and wax just to protect it. And it's ready to use. Yeah, right. This thing is way too nice to use, plus it's a gift, so you can just pretend that I used it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future builds.